won't believe it. You won't believe it at all. But in between episodes, we've won not one, but 2 games. Fantastic stuff in between episodes. We won 2 games. Like, it's absolutely incredible. We had, I think it was 8 games in the end. 8 games without a win. It was looking awful. Then suddenly the Curzon Ashton game comes along. It's looking like it's going to be another draw, another game without a win, until Jamie Bird pops up in the 90th minute to give us our first win in 9 games. 8 games without winning. The 9th one, we did win. Fantastic stuff. Got us 3 points that we really, really needed. So that was fantastic. Normality did return, though, in the next game against Hyde United. Lee Master sent off in the 85th minute, but that was already after they'd scored their goal in the 45th minute. So that was a disappointing game after the high of winning it, and I was literally so happy we lost that one. But we did win again against Matlock Town the game afterwards, scoring not 1, not 2, but 3 goals. McQuaid, Holmes and Robinson all get themselves on the score sheet there. Matlock scoring in the 57th minute to try and get themselves back into the game, but ultimately they just couldn't. But then again, brought back down to life in the Bamber Bridge game, away from home, losing 2-0. So 4 games played, 2 wins and 2 losses. Normally, that would be awful, but right now, that is the best form we've been in for months. So I'm very happy with that. So, here you're asking me, 2 wins, an extra 6 points. How far has that boosted you up the table, Tom? Well, let me show you how far it's boosted up the table. As you can see from the table, we've moved all the way up to bottom. We're now bottom of the table. How's that happened then? So despite us being in the best form, we've actually moved downwards. We've moved down the table a little bit. Ashton United, I think we're on 29 points anyway, or they were just ahead of us either way. They were 6 points ahead of us. We've gained 6 points on them, but by virtue of goal difference, they are ahead of us. Goal difference, we're now the worst in the league, by the way, so that's not good. We haven't quite conceded the most goals. There's teams that have conceded more, but we haven't scored as many as others, which is a massive worry. We need to try and get a few more goals scored. Stafford Rangers, who I said a few episodes ago were already down and out of the league, have gone unbeaten in their last 6 games. If we look at their schedule, the last 6 games they've played, they either won or drawn. 4 wins, 2 draws. I mean, that is really good form. So fair play Stafford Rangers. They're starting to rescue themselves. The positive is we're only 1 point clear of safety. Curzon Ashton just outside the relegation zone. 1 point ahead of us. So a win today against Gainsborough or Boston in this what's going to be like a massive local derby episode is going to be pretty good. However, as you can see, we're playing Gainsborough and Boston today, who are 7th and 12th respectively. So it's going to be very tough to get results today, I've got to say. Very tough indeed. We're still keeping up, though, with the 1 point per game. I still think if we carry on getting 1 point per game on average, we will be safe come the end of the season. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, looking on the rivalry screen for Lincoln United, Gainesborough Trinity are under other rivals, which I find a little bit... Well, to be fair, they're not meant to be. I don't think Lincoln and Gainesborough have ever really been in the same division and things like that. So I can understand why it's not a derby or a fierce rivalry, but I suppose it is a bit of a rivalry. Kind of upset Boston isn't there, because Boston is kind of close and we're in the same league sort of thing. It's less than an hour to get to Boston. It's less than half an hour, I think, to get to Gainesborough from Lincoln. So they are pretty close. But no official derbies yet, but hopefully it will develop into one if we keep on in the same division as Gainesborough and Boston. That'd be quite cool. Oh, I've just noticed as well, I'm already a favoured personnel. Within 3 seasons, or in less than 3 seasons, full 3 seasons, I'm a favoured personnel. That is actually incredible. I'm a big fan of that, along with Mario Zaccardi, who I feel like is someone much more famous than he actually is probably going to be. If I'm thinking of a very famous Mario Zaccardi, I don't think it's this chap, but he had 4 separate spells, I think, at Lincoln United, so no wonder he's quite popular at Old Lincoln United. He's actually a goalkeeper coach now, if we can ever get back onto him. I didn't mean to click off him. Goalkeeper coach. Is he any... He's actually not bad as a goalkeeper coach, to be fair. So potentially... we could sign this guy back, actually, as a coach. That'd be quite cool. Oh, but it's quite annoying that Connor Robinson is ahead of me as an icon. I mean, fair play, he's probably deserved it with all the goals he's scored in the past few seasons, getting us promoted and things like that. But you hate to see the players be more iconic than you are. Although, if he scores a few goals today to make sure we win the game against Gainesborough Trinity, then I'm happy for him to be an icon. We're going to get into today's game. We're going to go back to the 4-4-2 today, because I think it's the formation that just seems to work best against the teams that are higher up. This sitting back, parking the bus, kind of gets us draws at least at the very minimum sort of thing. So that's quite good. Emery starts in goal then with a backline of Roberts, Jacqueline, Narty and Ford. Luke Combs, McQuaid, Masters and Cotton make up the midfield line. And then Robinson is paired up front with Mum, who's starting up front today, just because I've lost all faith. I mean, I should have lost it a long time ago. Jack Warrener, he's scored no goals this season, 1 goal last season. Like, 21 appearances, 1 goal. That's appalling. Regen Hutchinson, on the other hand, is potentially worse. Oh no, he got 5 goals last season, but only 1 this season. Average ratings are awful. They're both going to be going into the season. I just can't be dealing with them anymore. So They'll be gone come the end of the season. They probably won't play much at all this season. But Mum, I have faith in. So Mum, please don't let us down. Get some goals against Gainsborough today. Right then, kickoff is upon us at Gainsborough Stadium. We have to get rid of these to sort of fill the pitch out on the screen, because it's quite a long pitch apparently. Right, to keep your eyes on the table then, hopefully we'll see a bit of movement today. Hopefully in an well, we can't go down, can we? So it can only be in an upward trajectory for us. We can't get worse. In fact, it can only ever get better from here. Can only ever get better because we can't go down the table anymore. So there we go. Now, we had a heavy loss to Gainsborough earlier on the season. A heavy loss to Boston as well. One was like 3-0, one was 4-1. I think the Gainsborough was 3-0 and the Boston was 4-1. Gainsborough already trying to recreate that with Joe scoring his second goal of the season with a free kick. That's... You hate to see that. We've got a chance at the end though. Robinson is not going to shoot. It kind of nearly goes in the back of the net. Matt Cotton desperately trying to get anything on there to try and steer it goalwards. Come on, we can do this today, boys. I do feel like there's a lot of pressure in every single game now. Every single game, there is huge amounts of pressure on me now, especially as we're hitting that 30 game mark. And I said I wanted us to be out of the relegation zone by 30, 32 games. It could happen today, but it's with the results looking like this, it's not looking likely. Now, you could argue saying, Tom, don't go defensive. Don't go this part of the bus formation. But look, they've had one shot and it's gone the back of the net, and we've had 5, which is annoying. Another free kick put in, and a decent save there from Emery, actually, I've got to say. They've had 2 shots now. 2 on target. I'd like to see us get some highlights, actually. That'd be quite nice, as they've got a corner now coming in. Headed again. Goalwood finally cleared, actually, but Gainsborough looking very dangerous from set pieces. We need to be careful of that. Well, at half-time, we need to encourage the boys. We owe Gainsborough after our last match. They all look passionate and motivated by that. That's actually quite good. Hopefully we'll go out. We may change formation, actually, to a diamond shortly, just because that might give us a little bit more attacking prowess, perhaps. I don't know. I mean, we're doing well enough with shots at the moment. We're matching. I mean, we were ahead of Gainsborough a long way, but we are matching them now. So we just need to sharpen up our finishing just a little bit. Saying that, though, nothing is really getting better, I've got to say. Nothing is really getting better. They've got a free corner now. And again, it's looking so dangerous from these set pieces. I think we now change for diamond. I think this is what we do. So we keep those players there. Robinson goes up front. Luke Holmes comes in. We're going to swap Masters and McQuaid over. Masters will become a ball-winning midfielder on support. And then we're going to bring Luke Holmes. He's not on the bench. I thought he might... Oh, no, Jack Holmes, sorry. Luke Holmes already on the bench. Jack Holmes comes on that CDM position. That's who I was thinking of. Perfect stuff. Let's get back to it. Come on. I still fully believe in us. I still fully believe that we're going to make the great escape. Fully believe it. But it's just... it really isn't looking likely at the moment, is it? The way we've been playing... We've won 2 games in our last 10, or it's even more than that, isn't it? I think it's a lot more than that, more games than 10. And right now, it's looking like potentially another loss is going to be on the cards. Now, do we trust Jack Warner? Please, lad, just do something for me. You don't do anything normally, so just please have a go. Skeffington's also going to come on for McQuaid as well. See what that does. There we go. There are all the changes that we can make, substitute-wise. Tactically, I'm not very good with tactics, so I'm not quite sure what we can change there. I'm very reluctant to change. We've got these 3 tactics, basically. We've got the 4-4-2, the diamond, and the attacking winger formation. I feel like those 3 are enough to suit us for a season. I don't like changing it in the middle of a season, because I feel like that just puts all the players off, sort of thing. So, I am reluctant to do it. However, results, things like that, this one, a 1-0 loss, it does just call out to me that we need to change it. And we've lost this one against Gainsborough 1-0 from a free kick. And that's happened a few times this season. Set pieces have been the downfall for us. Okay, well, 1 derby out the way, 1 loss. I've also just noticed, you'll see it in a minute, but Boston won their last game 5 or 6-0. So the game they just played... I saw a score update come through in the corner, so we'll look at that in a second. Yep, 5-0 against Warrington Boston, and now they sit just outside the playoffs. So, that's going to be a tough game against Boston, I've got to say. A very tough game. Warner, in the meantime, still hasn't scored in 19 matches. I mean, most of them, in fact, I think pretty much all of them have been substitute appearances. So that's sort of, it doesn't get the full 90 minutes, but still, 19 games without a goal is abysmal. Bank balance, worse and worse, £71,000 now. it's going to be really tough to turn that around, to be fair. To just make a profit or just stay in the, stay in the black is so hard in non-league, let alone turn a profit. So, I mean, it's going to be a long time before we do turn profit. We have to become a selling club, but at the moment, the level we're at, the players we have they're not at the level to command a big fee if they even sell for money, sort of things. That's annoying. These are all the players out on loan as well. We've got loads of players out on loan at other clubs. They're all like under 18s, so it doesn't matter at all, basically. They're just getting game time. One or two of them may be... Well, they're not going to be first starters next season, but they may be on the bench next season. Gary Jones, I'd love to see him get back into the sort of the bench. He was a good player for us in the season, or the league below us, just doesn't quite cut the mustard. I mean, none of the players at the moment in our team cut the mustard, let alone Gary Jones. But there's a few players here that I'd like to see develop, see grow, but at this level, when they're all part-time players, the training facilities are rubbish anyway. It's very difficult for them to reach that potential in the first place. So I wouldn't expect them to become world beaters anytime soon, but it would be good to actually see some of these players do well. Actually, they're all under 18 players. It's the start of March. We should have Regen Day coming up at some point in like the next 10 days or so. So hopefully that happens in this episode. Right before as well, here we go. Regen Day has come on the day of Boston, actually, the Boston game. That's interesting. So, again, I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting, again, 1.5 star players. No one's going to break into the squad. Probably a lot of 5-star potential as well, because it just seems to be the thing at this level, because no one quite knows how good they're going to be in the future, like because our scouts and our coaches are rubbish. Let's have a quick look, though. Is anyone going to be useful off the bat? It's not looking likely. Darren Elliott is 1.5 star current ability, but again, it's just not going to be breaking into the first side. But actually, looking at potential, only Tom Noble's 5-star. Every season we've had so far, I think all but 3 players have been 5-star potential, so that's interesting. This youth intake, or this crop of players, either aren't as good, or our scouts and we've got better scouts this year. Perhaps they're influencing it a little bit, but perhaps they're just not as good. Interesting. Callum Jacob, let's have a quick look at him. Right back. Why did I say he was a central midfielder? Because he was I was looking at Darren Elliott before. Well, Callum Jacob is a right back who could be useful. Got a good work rate. I love to see that. And some good natural fitness. But again, low determination, isn't going to make anything of himself in a footballing career, unfortunately. Darren Elliott, though, is unambitious. Good, again, good work rate, good stamina, good physicals, but unambitious. It's not really a recipe for a good football player if they're unambitious. So, I mean, it's not a bad youth intake, but don't expect to ever see them do anything for us, unfortunately. Well, I think the plan then should be to keep the exact same lineup, because it nearly worked. Nearly worked against Gainesborough. It was a free kick that let us down. Other than that, we kept a very, very good defensive performance. So I think we'll try it again against Boston. As long as they don't have a good free kick taker, we should be okay. Right, then kickoff's upon us. We'll get the match stats and the league table back, because we're back to a normal sized pitch now. We're still bottom of the table by 3 points as things stand right now, because everyone's drawing, which isn't good. Potentially, we could actually escape the relegation zone today. If Stafford Rangers lose, we win. Everyone else loses, actually, and we get better goal difference. Potentially, we could just about escape the relegation zone, but I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Early highlight, though, is for us, which is kind of good. Robinson does retain possession there, actually, up towards McQuaid, who then keeps possession just about. Masters back to McQuaid. Masters up to Robinson. Robinson coming forward, gets himself tackled. Finally, Boston get the ball. They're now on the counter-attack. Very, very quickly get it forward. Cross comes in, cleared by Jacqueline, but only as far as Ryder, into Hawkins, who nearly makes it 1-0 with a decent effort on target. Actually, it was off target, wasn't it? It was towards a goal, towards a target, but off target. Not long after that, though, another chance for Boston, although we have cleared it. We need to do better than this in these local derbies. We need to do better. We need to get the passion of the players going. We need to understand that the fans want this. They probably don't actually care, if we're honest with ourselves, but the fans want it. We need to tell the boys that. And Boston just toying with us at the moment. Wordsworth coming forward with it into Ryder. Ryder now back to Wordsworth. We're not really challenging too much, I've got to say. We're not pressing high enough. A shot comes in. Emery makes a decent save, but already Boston looking dangerous. Well, his formation is not quite working as well stat-wise as it did against Gainsborough. So, again, in the second half, we may come back to the diamond. But I think in a game against Boston, a draw is potentially more important than anything else. I think the draw is perhaps what we need to go for. Teams around us still drawing. In fact, Stafford Rangers are losing, actually. Curzon Ashton, I think, maybe winning their game. Unfortunately for us, that puts us 5 points from safety. Even harder to get out of that relegation zone. And again, Boston coming forward now, 30th minute. Hawkins on the ball, again, showing their prowess, Boston, coming forward and challenging us like that. But they've not managed to do anything with it much yet. Free kick for them now. Free kicks have undone us in the past, but still Boston can't put it in the back of a net. How long can we weather this? Or can we grab a goal as Emery hoofs it up towards Holmes, who gets on the end of it. Back to Bradley Roberts, up towards Mum, who can't win it, but McQuaid back on the ball now. Now Masters into McQuaid. McQuaid gets out wide to Holmes. Holmes coming forward with the ball on the edge of the area now, surrounded by Boston players. Plays it back to Masters just to relieve that pressure a little bit. Roberts back on the ball, back to Masters. We're trying to work it really nicely, and we're working it backwards, if we're honest with ourselves here. That's not what you want to see. We've now been tackled. Here it comes. There's a man free in the middle. Emery, superb save. We're still in it. Still in it. Well, I'm not sure how, but we are drawing at half-time, which is fantastic stuff. Passionately, please how things are going. Keep it up. If we can keep a draw, I'll be very, very happy. Something tells me, though, that won't happen. Just a little hunch that it just won't happen, will it? We are, though, all of a sudden, in the 80th minute. There's been no highlights at all in this second half. If we can hold on then for the next 8 minutes now, we'll pick up a vital point to Boston. And as I say we're about to pick up a vital point up, Michael Emery makes another huge save. Quickly, get on the counter-attack. Their defenders weren't back. We wasted a bit of time there, to be fair. That was a bit frustrating. We could have really pipped them on the counter-attack if we'd been a bit more switched on there. The ball forward wasn't great from them. Matt Cotton has possession. Ford now on the ball, puts a fantastic ball up to Mum, who's in behind the defence for the win. Doesn't do it. And to be fair, it doesn't even surprise me. I've got to be honest with you. Doesn't surprise me. Ford with the throw into Masters. The highlight continues, and it's not going towards Boston. It's fine. Look at all the green as well, by the way. Our defence, I mean, you love to see it, but it's obviously for the wrong reason, because Boston, it's for the right reason. They've kept them out, haven't they? But it just means that we've let Boston come forward so much. But at the end of the day, they've worked their socks off at the back, kept a clean sheet, and we've got a 0-0 draw with Boston, which we're going to celebrate like a win, because that's a huge result. Well, that point could be vital at the end of the season. That really could be a vital point. We've done very well, actually, I've got to say, in these past 2 games. We were unlucky to lose to Gainesborough. We've done superbly well to draw against Boston. But at the other end of the spectrum, you've got to question. You've got to question us. We're celebrating a 0-0 draw with Boston as if we've just won the bloody league. So something's got to change, and fast. So, 11 games left this season. 11. I feel like this Ashton United game could be a good one to do on camera. Altrincham are doing quite well. Pontefract are doing all right. Warrington are 15th. I think we do Ashton United and Altrincham. I think that gives a bit of a spectrum of 2 games. And then the last episode, where it could be relegation, is against 10th and 9th place currently, Workington and Stalybridge. So in this time, somewhere, against teams that, it's going to be very, very tough. But we have to, in these games between Witton Albion and Warrington, we have to pick up a couple of wins. Warrington, Ashton, Stafford Rangers, Droylsden, we have to win. I don't think we'll beat Witton. I don't think we'll beat Pontefract. I don't think we'll beat Altrincham. So the other ones, we really have to work to try and pick up points. We have to. It's desperate. Right, it really is getting to the a very tense part of the season, and I don't like the position we're in. So, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please drop a like on the video for me. Let me know in the comment section, will we stay up, or are we doomed to go down? Don't look at the table. Think about the spirit you've got for the team, that I've got for the team. Don't think about the player spirit, because that's probably shattered at the moment. Don't look at the table. But other than that, think about how we might stay up. And I think in your hearts, deep down, you know we will. Maybe. Hopefully. With 5 points. We're 5 points adrift. It's a long way to go. We can still do it. Think positive. Positive thoughts. Positive thoughts. We'll be fine. Right then, I'll see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action, and hopefully some wins. Hopefully. I'm praying. I'm really praying. Please.